of my life. One of them movie companies, TV documentaries. Won't you come and ask me, please? And pay me $1 million just to tell you what I do at the store. And if you pay me $1 million, I wouldn't gotta go and do it no more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like the song said, all the long day. Everybody that know that song, working for it the whole day long, all the long day.
Hey somebody, won't you turn your head? Take a look my way. I'm getting old and I'll tell you, getting old ain't nothing new.
Stuck again with you, know who? Me and my old pal Monday, your ring or shine and you're showing.
It's back
Me and
again.
my old pal Monday, and another cup of coffee gets your juices flowing. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like the song said, all the big long day. Everybody that know that song, working for living the whole day long, all the live long day.
Just like some say, all the long day now. Just like some say, all the long day now. Just like some say, all the long day now. Just like some say,
Everybody that know that song, working at living the whole day long, all the live long day. Typically, in the morning, you wait at the shanty till 7 o'clock. You go in at 7, you start working your way up the ladder. Climb up the steep. Every 2 floors, you plank it off. Then you disconnect the bottom of the mast and tie it with a boom on top of the choke plate. You get a heavy block and the job weighs 200, 250 pounds, something like that. I started when I was 18 years old, working structural steel. Our tower's probably 120, 130 feet high. See, most people are afraid of heights like that, so automatically, every iron worker has an ego. You're doing something somebody else can't do, and you get to wear a tool belt. When you're a kid, 18 years old, and you have the wrench and like a holster, you're like a cowboy or a sailor. If I put a 2x4 on the floor, I couldn't knock you off it with a stick. But if I put it up 50 feet, and a little gust of wind comes along, and you overreact, you end up falling off. That's why most iron workers started as kids, because when you're a kid just out of school, and the guy next to you is walking the beam, you're going to try walking the beam too. Iron workers very, very rarely fall in the hole. That's what our term is. If a guy falls off a building, he fell in the hole. We talk a lot about it amongst ourselves. You iron work long enough, you're going to get some real scares. I noticed myself, I get a copper taste. You ever put a penny in your mouth as a kid? You know that taste? That's the taste of fear, I guess. When you get older, you reconcile yourself to the fact that it's easier to just drop down and cocoon across the beam, we call it. It's easier, you end up losing all the hair on the inside of your legs. And you can always tell iron workers because they don't have any hair on the inside of their legs. Another bad thing is, up here, we don't have any outhouses or anything like that, so we piss in the columns. Everyone's always drunk the night before, so they're always expelling themselves down these columns, but the problem with that is, eventually something's going to happen where you're going to have to work down below. The worst thing in the world is when you have to burn something down there. It's like cooking a toilet. But I always knew I was going to be an iron worker because my older brothers were iron workers and my father was an iron worker, so it was a natural course of events. My father was very disappointed that I didn't go to college. We had a college boy at work this summer, and one time he saw a book in my back pocket, and he was amazed. He says to me, "You read?" And that's what can get to you. The non-recognition by other people. To say that a man is just a laborer, and a woman is just a housewife. It bothers you sometimes. Sometimes, some mornings, I look across the skyline for a building that I worked on, say, that office building there. And I look down, and I can see some fancy car pulling into the parking garage that I built. And I know some guy from the burbs is driving it, and I know he's never going to think about me. But I think about him sometimes. Pulling his air-conditioned car into his air-conditioned office, just sitting back and enjoying the ride. 6 o'clock, took me 15 minutes to go 3 blocks.
Just in time to stand in line with freeway looking at the parking lot.
Damn this traffic jam, how it hates me late. Hurts my motor to go so slow. Damn this traffic jam, time to get to work, my coffee closing. Damn this traffic jam.
So, where the hell is the parking lot attendant?
He does this every morning.
It just can't take that long to park a car. He wants to drive him around up there and listen to the radio or something.
Not only that, once he finally takes your car, you don't know what the hell he's gonna do with it before he gets it back to you.
I've been parking cars for 32 years. In my younger days, I was the best. I could drive any car like a baby. Like a woman changes her baby's diapers. It's like when people come up to me and say, "Wow, you sure can drive. How long have you been doing it?" And I say, "Well, I guess I started when I was 16, and I'm still doing it." All my days, cars. All my weekend hours is cars. I drive my car here, and then when I get here, it's the customer's car, and then I drive my car home at night. When I go out, my wife drives. I'm known from Peking to Hong Kong, from the West Coast to the Picos. Packing cars is my game. In an automobile, I used to be hell on wheels. That's what earned me my name. Ask anybody to tell you about loving out. You can ask anybody, and anybody will tell you. There was a time when nobody could beat me doing what I do. Punch the ticket, slide under the wheel, and right off the bat have it under control. Using one hand, I'd spin her around without looking back, put her straight in the hole. People ask me how I do it. I say that there ain't nothing to it, 'cause I'm loving out the wizard. One swing out, that's me. Loving Al is a wizard, so don't be surprised at what you see. One swing in, one swing out, look out. There he goes. Now when you're parking cars here, you're working for tips, so you get to know the types. Now the working man is the best tipper because he works all day but he still give you 2 greenbacks. You get some big guys coming in a Cadillac, you know they give you 1 measly little quarter. Of course, then we have our regular tippers, and they tip once a week, so we give them what we call soigné service. Of course, we still have to give service to those who don't tip, but it ain't soigné. Why can't I be a rich man with some big bucks in my jeans? And buy me a brand new caddy and a Cohiba cigar. 'Cause you can't smoke them Panatas when you're riding in a rich man's car. Get out with the tuxedos on, and when I get in, I can smell the cologne. Then used to be if I'd be listening a while, just sitting pretending like it was my home. I may sit longer than I should. That's 'cause it feels so good to loving out the wizard. One swing out, that's me. Loving out as a wizard. Surprised at what you see. One swing in, one swing out. Look out. I had a customer once, tall as a smokestack. I sat down and it looked like I was sitting in the back. He says, "You're beautiful, that seat, boy. I'm almost 6 feet." And I said, "Mister, I never move anybody's seat, 'cause I'm loving out the wizard. Wheels and me agree. Loving out as a wizard. King of the parking lot, Grand Prix." I gotta skip. I see a tip. Loving out. Signing off.
My name is Mary
sometimes you have a good boss, which I've had. And sometimes you have a Satan boss, like the boss I have right now. We sent out a notice. It said, the Brotherhood of Cubicle Cuties would like to have a Christmas party. And I got called in, and he said, you can't start a union here. I'm looking at him going, you should be focusing on the fact that we haven't delivered any work in 2 months.
I've been in a lot of cubes. I've been in the Hello cubes. I've been in the Happy cubes. And one place, they didn't have any cubes. There was 8 of us all at desks with little phone lines, little buttons that lit up when you're on them. I'm going, oh, my career's really taking off now.
I paper the walls of my cubicle with posters. I bring in flowers. I brought in my favorite ceramic lamp. This little collection of things on top of my computer, we call them the computer gods. I guess I have more decorations than I thought, but I like getting fun things. Because it's kind of, you know, if you look at it without the decorations, it's kind of a drab-looking place. So things like glow-in-the-dark skeletons go a long way.
I can see the program in the cubicle next to me through the reflection in the window. At night, I can see her reflection and what she's doing. Quite often, she's emailing jokes to her sister. I also acquired a webcam, and I've set it up so it points behind me. And I have a little window on my computer, which is the webcam picture. And if somebody walks behind me, I can see them.
The person in the cubicle across from me talks very loudly on the phone, so I'm filled in to a great extent on his personal life. I hear him talking to this girl he loves, and his mom's giving him hell and things like that. And so one day I say to him, you know, I can hear everything that you're saying. And of course now all I hear is so I know that something sensitive is going on.
This industry is highly hit by mergers, which means significant layoffs. I've been through 2 of them. My mentality is quite different than people 20 years senior to me, the lifers. I have no real sense of loyalty because I know they've got a business to run and they will lay me off if it's prudent. It's very different for people 15 years older than me. They've given their life here. For a few measly bucks, you're tossing us aside? I'm like, get over it. It's a different world. I don't perceive that anyone my age thinks they got hired here, they've got a job for life. What they think is, all right, I'm going to get as much money as I can from this company, and then I'm going to move on and make more money. Jobs aren't big enough for most people. But when you ask most people who they are, they define themselves by their jobs. I'm a doctor, I'm a radio announcer, I'm a carpenter. When people ask me, I tell them, I'm Amanda McKinney. And at certain points in time, I do things for a living.
I'm a fellow who likes work. Some people enjoy tennis. I enjoy work. I enjoy being a leader. I enjoy being the guy everybody looks to. I like the responsibility of having thousands of people working for me. In our world of money, money management is the sexiest job there is. If I'm called a freebooter, a pirate, a robber baron, it is a compliment. Absolutely. Who developed America? The regulators? The SEC? Or was it the Mellons? The Rockefellers? I mean, tell me what these people did bad. Rockefeller shot down some workers in the copper fields. Some say exploited them. Absolutely. And who benefited? There's still Standard Oil, isn't there? Mellon's Bank is still around. Listen, how many charities were started by these people? How many national parks are preserved by these robber barons? These were the giants who built their cities, built their country. Unless you have losers, you cannot have winners.
Excuse me, Mr. Winship. You asked me to remind you that you have an overseas call coming in 5 minutes.
Look, I'm gonna have to cut this short. I want to get on the phones before the markets close overseas. Everybody works long hours these days. I believe kids work harder today than ever before. Kid wants to make it, he's got to be willing to work long hours. Then he's got to go to school nights, live federal policy. God not outsmart the regulators to make a profit. It's easy. Christ, if you can outsmart one little government staff, you shouldn't come to work in the morning. I should be their teacher. You know, I've always wanted to teach. But they don't want a businessman. They only want people in the academic world who have a formalized and I think empty training. This is what I like to do when I get tired of all this. Get involved with young people. Pass along my knowledge, my experience, my values.
Good morning, Fernando. How are you? Good morning, Linda. I missed you. In your heart, you may have a dislike for a certain child, but you force yourself to say, "Good morning, Manuel. How are you doing today?" My name is Rose Hoffman. I teach 3rd grade. At 9:15, we start arithmetic. I have tables fun on the board. You don't say tables, you say tables fun. Everything has to be fun, fun, fun. Then we have a penmanship lesson. There it is, in my beautiful handwriting. I have a Palmer Method diploma. I tell my kids, Mrs. Hoffman's here, everybody works. Working is a blessing. But I don't give them assignments over their heads. I don't tell them the reasons for things. I give them the rote method. This is very boring, very monotonous, but habit is a great thing for these children. They adore it. Habit. They love habit. I like to be sure my room is clean. The desks are well organized. I like uniformity. I love straight lines. The neighborhood is changing, and the type of child is changing too. Now I have 32 in my class, about 23 Spanish. I have maybe 2 Appalachians, little Appalachians. They don't get the special attention these other children get. Their names aren't Spanish. My heart breaks for them. In the old days, you had 18 to 20 children who came into your class from the beginning bell to the very end and stayed there. Today, the child comes in and leaves for computer lab, art therapy, learning English as a second language. I am shocked English is a second language. When my parents came over, I didn't learn Jewish as a first language at the taxpayer's expense. The Polish didn't learn Polish as a first language. Oh yes, I have seen a great many changes since I began teaching in 1959. January 6th, 1959. My students were Polish primarily then. I love the Polish people. They worked very hard. We had 2 colored families, but they were sweet. Of course, in those days we had the paddle. I believe in corporal punishment. I believe it builds respect and trust. My